If you've just joined us, you're watching Newslink on DSTV channel 403. Now, Eskom's municipal debt now sits at a staggering 50 billion nationwide. The National Energy Regulator of South Africa has just granted the power utility an 18.65% tariff increase. What does this mean for these municipalities? What impact will the hike likely have on their debt? eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is out in the field getting different voices on the matter, and she joins us live. Good morning, Heidi. You've been engaging with a number of stakeholders, particularly COSATU. What has the Labour Federation had to say about this increase?
Well, the Labour Federation, of course, rejects this 18.65% increase, just like anybody else would reject this. I don't think there's anybody that would accept an 18.65% increase in electricity when majority of the time we don't even have the electricity because of the constant rolling blackouts. But the Labour Federation has, of course, reiterated the fact that you have millions of people that are still dependent on social grants. Millions are still unemployed. We have very low economic growth, which, of course, directly impacts job creation. Our unemployment is probably at its highest, especially youth unemployment. And now you're increasing electricity by 18.65%. Nobody is going to welcome this, and you also have businesses saying that we are already not coping with the constant rolling blackouts, the cost of living going up, everything is going up, and now this electricity increase is also going to further exacerbate the situation. I think what's even more frustrating, though, Mfundo, is the fact that you have an announcement by NERSA and Eskom coming out and saying that it was a difficult decision for NERSA to make in terms of that electricity tariff increase, yet it's something that needs to be done, but we are subjected to constant rolling blackouts. You can see behind me, my colleague Heidi will show you, that we are in Sandton at the moment, and there are the power cuts are, of course, affecting the traffic lights, and this affects traffic. Everything is affected. Everything basically comes to a complete standstill, and the situation is not just, oh, well, we're going to be paying 18.65% more for electricity. It's what electricity are we paying more for when we don't even have it? But maybe let's just quickly listen to what COSATU Labour Federation had to say about the announcement by NERSA yesterday.
This is really a slap in the face because it seems as if everyone is indifferent to their plight. People are looking around and they see nothing wrong. It's not just workers, it's actually employers who are going to look around and realize that there is actually no need to continue to keep some of the operations going. As a result, we are going to experience job losses. And then Eskom itself, long term, is going to pay a huge price for these tariff hikes. This money is actually not even going to go to help with the revamping of infrastructure. It is going to go on debt service cost. We have been having discussions for the last 5 years on this question. In 2019, we submitted a proposal called the Eskom Social Compact, where we said, look, let's all come together as social partners and look at ways of halving the Eskom debt. Government in the last, I think, midterm budget policy statement did come out and say they were prepared to take 50% of the Eskom debt and put it under the national debt. That is actually should be our focus area here, is to relieve Eskom of the burden of spending a lot of this money on debt service cost, so that whatever money that is being generated can be spent on infrastructure repair. That is really the issue here. As workers, we would have actually looked at everything and said there should have been no increase, because the reality is many people cannot afford this. You have 24 million people who are on social welfare.
Now, Heidi, logically, if workers cannot afford, it then says that municipalities will not be able now to pay their debts.
Certainly, and we do know that a number of municipalities have not been able to keep up with their bill and to pay Eskom what they owe. We do know that there's one specific municipality in the Free State, as well as in Mpumalanga, that owe Eskom over R1 billion. We also know, for example, municipality the Emalahleni municipality in Mpumalanga as well has defaulted a number of times. It's not just one or two municipalities. There are a number of municipalities that are not paying. What is this tariff increase going to mean for these already defaulting municipalities? Does this mean that it's going to get worse? Does this mean that that you're going to have more ratepayers that are going to head to the court? We do know that last year ratepayers ended up taking Eskom to the Constitutional Court because they felt as though they should not be the ones suffering because municipalities are defaulting and not paying Eskom over. What is it going to mean though for the ratepayer and for municipalities? Are they still going to be able to pay Eskom over? What is this essentially going to mean in terms of electricity supply? Another big element that I think that we need to focus on here in Mfundo is the fact that if you look at one of the largest townships, Soweto, for example, they've been subjected to something called load reduction. Yes. And a lot of the time you have illegal connections taking place. And that might also be further exacerbated because already you have people saying they refuse to pay for electricity because they hardly ever get it. They are subjected to load reduction. And now they have to also be subjected to an 18.65% electricity price hike. So what will that mean in terms of those illegal connections? The picture and the situation is very complicated, and it's probably going to get worse because people are rejecting this 18.65% increase, especially because the country is plunged into darkness and we are currently in stage 6 load shedding indefinitely.